My name is Ashley Hughes, and I'm a holistic mindset and wellness coach who's been living in London for the past 13 years. My work is built around one central idea that most of us are living a life we did not consciously choose, a life by default rather than by design. Everything I do, my coaching, my community, my new podcast coming soon, Question Everything, is about helping people break free from that autopilot and start living intentionally, living by design. And right now, I'm doing exactly that myself, which is why I moved here to Wales. For the next 6 weeks, I am here on a work exchange at a retreat in Wales called The Dreaming. I'm going to be a part of the events team, putting my hospitality skills to use whilst also learning operational and creative side of running retreats. And I'm also showing up as a participant doing the deep inner work myself. I've always dreamed of running my own retreats, and this is where that journey really begins. I'm documenting all of it, the behind the scenes, the personal breakthroughs, and the challenges, honestly and in real time. This is the Retreat Diaries. Welcome. My first impressions when I arrived here, wow. Heaven on earth, I think is the best way to describe. From the minute I arrived, the whole team here has been so warm and welcoming and made me feel so at home. The landscapes, stunning. The energy, magical. Being cooked for every day, I feel like I'm living like a king. And already I've made some amazing bonds and connections. What surprised me the most was how quickly I felt at home. Before I arrived here, I had a plan. And the plan was to sublet my room, which meant I would be going back to my home of 6 years in London, back living with my chosen family, and back to my old routine. But the universe had other plans. So I actually moved out the day I arrived here. With 3 days to pack my whole life, it was stressful and kind of took away the excitement for coming to the retreat. But when the day arrived, last Monday, everything changed. I felt so much more balanced since I arrived here. And being so close to nature every day compared to being in the city has really felt powerful. It also made me realize how far I have actually come on my own journey. I was fully aware that I was going to be living in a shared bedroom, but what I was surprised by was the throwback to my childhood when I was sleeping back in a bunk bed. My inner child also got to play this week when we did some nature crafting. What really moved me this week was the connection and the closeness I formed with 4 amazing women here who came in the first cohorts that I was actually working with. 4 women with completely different backgrounds and women who were here for different reasons. But fundamentally, everybody comes here to reconnect with themselves and to connect with one another. It was really beautiful how everybody who came here this week showed up and opened up their hearts and their minds and were truly vulnerable with each other, didn't hold back. And whether they were dealing with grief or change or just simple growth, everybody really showed up for themselves and for one another. And as cliche as it sounds, the one quote that came up a lot, which we all agreed we now looked at in a different way, was home is where the heart is. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter whether you were born in the place that you live, and it doesn't matter whether you're a million miles away. But if your heart is full and you feel connected to self and connected to others, home really is where the heart is. I was really also moved by the community spirit that everybody here at the retreat has shown. In some way, shape, or form, everybody is connected. And there's an ecosystem in place here, which means when somebody new comes in, we just fit right back into that system and we take over the activities or the roles of somebody else before us. And everything just keeps ticking day in, day out, thanks to everybody being so willing and open to work with each other, to support each other, and to be there for one another. One of the best experiences of the week was a Qigong session, which we did with Kerry. And for anybody who's unsure, Qigong is a Chinese wellness system combining slow movement, deep breathing, and focused intention to cultivate and balance Qi, which is our life force energy. It's a foundational component of traditional Chinese medicine used to improve health, enhance relaxation, and encourage mental clarity. And honestly, after that session, I felt so alive. My biggest challenge this week was to surrender and to let go of the chapter I've just closed. Letting go of my old home and moving forward into a brand new season. Creating this new series has also been a challenge, as long form content is something that I've avoided for a very long time. But in January this year, I made a commitment to myself that I'm going to start to post. And I started to post 5 times a week on social media with short form reels. And since then, my confidence has improved. Not quite there yet, but we move. It's a work in progress, and every day gets 1% better. The one thing I'm going to take with me into week 2 of the Retreat Diaries is vulnerability. Like right now. Do I feel comfortable? Not 100%. Am I showing up anyway? Absolutely. Will this series progressively get better? I hope so. But meeting new people, spending time with and getting to know with strangers who become friends, being honest, speaking my truth, and not holding back. No fear, no judgment, no shame. Each episode, I'm going to leave us with a closing question for you to think about and maybe journal in your diary. What would it feel like to give yourself full permission, just for 1 week, to show up without knowing the outcome?